Yo, what up? Welcome back to the Rascache Media comic book movie spoiler reviews, and today we're talking about Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Oh boy, oh boy. I had a good time. I checked it out over this Veterans Day weekend. Hope everybody had a good long 3 day weekend, barbecue and beer. Unless you're not 21, in which case, no beer for you. Maybe next year. So yeah, let's get into it real quick. Let's get through this thing. So I didn't really know that this thing had come out until I saw someone else said they liked it. I'd only seen the trailer, so that was, I didn't really know what to expect other than the little clip I'd seen. It was obviously the same new 52 universe that they had set up already. Although, I don't know, from the animation and the trailer, it looked like maybe they'd gotten like a cheaper production team to do the animation, or I don't know. I thought I saw these robots that looked like reminiscent from the Justice League animation style. I don't know. It was not good looking. It also looked like maybe it was a cheap retelling of the movie. That's sometimes what they do with these things. They don't know what to do, so they'll just take the movie and dumb it down for like an hour and 15-minute animated movie, and that is weak. But that's not what they did. That's what I thought they were doing. That's not what they did. So let's talk about what they actually did. They did a little setup where, she's on Themyscira, and this is 5 years ago. So by this time, we've actually caught up. So 5 years ago was the first time we see her in Justice League War, which is what kicked off this whole animated universe. And when we first see her in Justice League War, she's like some type of ambassador from Themyscira. She's about to meet with the president, but she's also a superhero and has these tights on. So, they don't really explain it too much, but it's Wonder Woman, so you don't ask questions. But this actually provides some of the context as to, how did she get from Themyscira to where she is now? And they kind of connect that back to Justice League War in a way that it doesn't take away from this movie too much. They don't spend too much time worrying about it. Kind of like in the Aquaman movie where they're like, yo, you thought you fought Steppenwolf. And he's like, yeah, I did fight Steppenwolf. Now I got to fight this other guy. So they did more showing rather than telling, which I thought they did a cool job of that, introducing and also kind of taking, the movie version where she has to, there has to be a reason for her to leave the island, and that has to involve Steve Trevor showing up. So they took that trope, that Wonder Woman, thing that everyone knows, and plugged it into the new 52 universe that they had already set up in a way that doesn't step on the toes of anything. It was very seamless. Kind of like in the Wonder Woman movie when they have, the picture in Batman versus Superman, and then they connect that in the Wonder Woman movie when they take the picture in France, and you're like, oh, that's the picture from, oh, yeah, oh, and it doesn't muddle the waters or anything. It all makes sense. That's one of the things I didn't like about Captain Marvel. They're like, oh, we're going to show you this stuff from the 90s, and it's going to add to what you know from like the 2000s, and everything they show you, it's like, no, that doesn't add. That like undoes and takes away and changes stuff. So this actually doesn't change or muddy anything. It brings us right back into the present and does a whole brand new Wonder Woman story. So it almost has like a sequel vibe to it, like when they do the sequel, they throw everything at you. They had done a Wonder Woman movie, an animated movie, way back in the day, and they said they weren't going to do another one because they weren't sure that the funds would justify them doing it, which is ridiculous because I've been tracking these things ever since they've been coming out, and consistently the Wonder Woman movie has been one of the top selling DVDs in their collection since they've gotten started. So I don't know, that's just lies, or I don't know if it's a lie. Maybe they're fooling themselves. I don't know. The numbers don't justify the comments that, the money isn't there, because it definitely is. And so This time, I guess with the actual, big screen, silver screen, real legit movie that they put out doing well, maybe they had a little more confidence, so they did a whole bunch of villains. There was a little bit of cheapness on the animation here and there, like what I saw in the trailer had me worried. You could see it a little bit, but like all the fight choreography was legit. They didn't, cheap out on the frames there. Everything looked real smooth, and you could see, all the crazy martial arts moves that she was doing. There was, nothing left to the imagination. They definitely animated everything out on that. A little skimping though was done with the voice acting. I know her mom, the queen of the Amazons, Hippolyta, and who was it? It was Hippolyta and Medusa had the same voice actress. So you never see them really in the same shot. Like, Wonder Woman's fighting Medusa out in the courtyard while Hippolyta's, back in the kingdom or whatever. And then Giganta and Cheetah also had the same voice actress. So again, you never see them in the same room. But whatever, it's a cartoon. You let it slide. Another thing I liked was the use of Steve Trevor and Etta Candy. They made Steve Trevor a badass spy, but they also made him the comic relief. So they set him up to look good, but never too good. He never outshined Wonder Woman, but he also never really looked like a chump either. So they did a good balancing act of that. And then the new twist on Etta Candy, she used to be like this jolly fat woman, but now she's more like, a big girl with attitude. They moderned her up a little bit. So I like the new take that they did on that. And yeah, I liked, getting a bunch of villains. The only thing is they never really had like a strong storyline for any given villain except for Silver Swan, who I had never even heard of. I had to like Google her in the middle of watching the movie to like, who is this? Why do I care? Using Dr. Poison, that was tight because, we got a little more familiar with her in the movie, and that was like a good depiction. But then, she gets blasted at the end. And, having Giganta and Cheetah, you throw them in because those are more familiar characters. But none of them are really the main villain. They're all like auxiliary side villains. And even, who was it? Dr. Cyborg? Well, Dr. Cyber. Like you never really see Dr. Cyber, who's supposedly the main villain, until the very end, and then she gets whacked off. So the third act comes along, and they need a big baddie, so they just throw Medusa in there, and it's almost like in the Marvel movies when they got all the robots or all the aliens or the just the fodder. This time they got like a big, huge monster, this larger than life, killing everybody left and right. She's got her kill you stone vision, but she's also a giant for whatever reason. She took Giganta's potion or whatever. So, she's just this big, unstoppable foe that serves only the purpose of being a big, unstoppable foe so that Themyscira can be under attack and so that Wonder Woman has like a MacGuffin to sacrifice herself around. She blinds herself so that Medusa can't make her turn to stone so that she can continue to fight. And that's the only way that she can defeat Medusa in the end. And it was pretty freaking badass. I mean, I enjoyed watching it. I thought, oh man, that is so Wonder Woman. She's fighting like this Greek, monster from, like actual mythologies. Same thing they threw the Minotaur in. Like that's when Wonder Woman's running like on all cylinders when she's, kind of got one foot in man's world and one foot in the Greek mythology world. But I don't know, it was just like so thrown in at the last minute, and story wise, it just felt real wedged in. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's cool that it's Medusa, but it also could have been anybody. It's just this big thing, but the execution was dope. So yeah, if you can execute, then so be it. So yeah, she saves the day. She gets her Amazonian honor back. Her mother embraces her as an Amazon warrior once again. Happy ending. Clap, clap, clap. Hooray, hooray. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I got things to do. If you want to check out my book, Kalaka, you can do that at Roscache Art Media. Links in the description below. You know where to look. I'm your boy dieseltyme. I hope you had a good viewing experience. If you have, your own comments on the movie, what you thought, your own opinion, I'd be glad to read it, check it out, respond. Let me know what you think. And I hope you're having a good day. Peace.